Mithril. I mean, they get mithril from under the mountains in Tolkien's universe, right? Moria. Speaking of forges and mines under the mountain, you want to get to this week's episode of Reflex Save?
All right.
Now that's a segue.
This week's Tortured Segue is brought to you by mostly me, but also Tim.
I'll take the credit. Thanks. That was a pleasure.
Do you guys remember what happened last week?
Yeah, we met Jonkin and Frischetti.
Musgard
loyalists.
Started a bar fight.
Party. in the mess hall. It's safe to say it got
Frischetti everywhere.
Messy.
Hey. We did commit one of the cardinal sins of Dungeons and Dragons.
Splitting the party, yeah. I was very happy that you did that.
And then Carnelian mounted Svieta, and together they infiltrated the forge of butt plugs.
Sadly, we had to be bareback. No saddles for dogs.
Sadly, it had to be bareback.
Yes, and you also found a couple of... you also found Lady Musgart's guest room.
Yes.
Raided some of her beer, and took a couple health potions for yourself that were in her stone chests.
With compliments.
The health potions were addressed to us.
It did seem that the health potions were addressed. Maybe not the beer, but definitely the health potions seemed to be addressed to you.
I feel like
adjacent.
I feel like we earned the beer.
Yeah.
See, maybe Lady Musgard feels that way. And so we left as Wodun and Horacio had, after the bar fight settled, with the 5 remaining Musgard loyalists moving back down the corridor from whence they came.
Yes.
Perhaps back towards the interrogation room or the chapel. And we started on the concurrent mission, Mission Impossible, Metal Gear Solid, other stealth franchise that's popular here, where Carnelian and Svieta, both invisible by Wodun's hand, walked across the forge floor, found Xardorok commanding a bunch of creatures to do his bidding, past the towers and into the brig, dungeon, prison, whatever you want to call it. There are 3 Duragar hammerers that seem to be monitoring the doors, and there is a scent that Svieta picked up from 2 of the doors, one directly ahead and one further down to the east. When we left, Carnelian was reaching out for the, the eye slots indoors? Peepholes?
Food slit?
The food one's down the bottom, this one's up, like, the eye level.
The peephole.
We'll call it the peephole.
Upstairs for looking, downstairs for food.
And he was moving towards that to open it and look inside. You reach forward, and as you do, there is a loud banging that comes from the cell door in front of you. It causes the bar on the door to tremble in its brackets. And then when the banging dies down, you sort of recoil a little bit in surprise. From a cell further down, you hear a gentle tapping.
Carnelian will open the slit and have a look inside.
You open the slit and you peer in, and you can see a dark room. It looks like there's no braziers or anything like that in here. And in complete darkness, the light spilling in from behind you, and in your dark vision, you can see the hulking figure of a humanoid creature, almost large, but not quite. It seems to be, what you would guess, is a Goliath. And you can see he's sort of rubbing his shoulder as he walks and paces back to the end of the room. Very small cell, maybe like only really 5 by 5. So he's just pacing back and forth. Looks like he just tried to charge the door.
I think I'm actually going to get that on a t-shirt. Almost large, but not quite.
Not quite. Not quite.
Alright. Did the hammers make any move to indicate that they'd, reacted to this shoulder charge?
Do you guys want to make a perception check?
Sure.
Yeah. Natural 1.
Natural 1?
Oh, no.
20.
20.
Ooh.
So, Svieta, you try and take a look around when this happens, but it looks like maybe Carnelian's sort of shifting his weight a little bit too much on you, and you sort of get distracted by him shuffling. Carnelian, you turn behind you, and you see that the hammerers do look in your direction, but they don't move, and then after a little while they start sort of scanning the cells back and forth. This is sort of like... and they have that wide-eyed expression, that crazy one, and you just know they'd start screaming at any moment, silently.
I have an idea. Carnelian's just going to put the key in the door hole and, turn it, see what happens. Not going to open it yet, he's just going to, click.
So, the sound of the key opening the door seems so much louder here than you would expect. It's because you're trying to be as quiet as possible. This forge has sounds coming through it all the time. The metal striking metal, the falling molten lava and metal, and that sort of really dull thumping sound you can hear behind you. But this seems to almost take over precedence. You hear that click sound, and as soon as you hear it click, the Goliath turns and looks at the door, and you can see him crouch down, and he looks like he's ready to charge again.
I don't see any of this.
How wide is the slit?
It's like a little eye hole. So think of if you go into a seedy bar and you're like, listen, he's like, little slot comes across. He's like, what's the password?
All right,
that.
I looked it up, by the way. It's called a cuff or a cuff port.
Cuff port?
Or
Okay.
slang is a bean slot.
A bean slot.
I like
Is
that
Which is a
one.
bit of fun.
Is that slang rude in some way that we shouldn't be using?
I don't know.
Or-
I just read the description of the article.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carnelian is going to quickly jot down on a little bit of paper, and then he's going to make a little paper aeroplane out of the note. And on the note, he's going to write, "We are not Duragar. We have your axe." And he's just going to throw it through the bean slot.
Roll me a sleight of hand.
Run the bean slot.
Bean slot.
That is a 10.
Okay. You see as you quickly grab out this piece of paper and you're trying to hide it from the Duragar.
It's invisible.
The
handwriting-
rustling of the paper you're trying to hide from the Duragar.
Yes.
And you look up periodically from what you're writing down to see this Goliath. He doesn't look like he's charged the door yet, but you can see he's crouched like he's prepared, like a sprinter, hunched over. It looks like he's waiting for the door to even open slightly before he charges it. And then you throw a paper aeroplane in, and you see his head look up in confusion as he watches the plane lazily sail around, circular around his cell, and land at his hands. And he looks up at the bean slot. Is that what it is?
Yep.
All right, cool. He looks up at the bean slot and then down to the piece of paper and so opens it up. Is it written in common?
Yes.
Okay, good. You see him, his mouth moving quietly as he reads it. And then he looks up again, looks to either side, realizes that the walls have no windows on it anyway, and goes and stands up to his full height. You can see that when he rears up to his full height, he has to duck his head ever so slightly, because otherwise he'd hit the ceiling. And he approaches the door. And he bends down and peers through the beam slot.
So, Carnelian is going to... are you listening to Carnelian's thoughts?
I'm tuned into your radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Carnelian's going to, mentally alert you to the fact that he's going to try and open the door. So, it's not going to break the invisibility, but you should be prepared to move back away from the door in case the hammer is
Left, right, or back?
back.
Alright.
And then Carnelian is going to open the door and is going to just, toss the... open the door, slightly, just as, wide enough to get the axe in. And then do it as quietly as possible. And he's going to open the door, axe in, and then he's going to just leave it slightly ajar.
You're going to need to make a sleight of hand check, and if you get caught, one of the hammerers are going to come to investigate. Svieta, is there anything you're doing to help, to assist, or anything like that? Is there anything you can do?
I'll be as stable as possible.
Okay.
It's a 14.
Okay.
Do you get advantage because we're invisible or not really?
No.
Okay.
Not for sleight of hand.
Oh,
Okay.
that seems a bit rough.
Okay. You unlock the door and ease it ever so slightly and pull the axe out of your pack, or wherever you've got it stored, and you slip it in and it thuds to these feet, chops off a toe. Ah! You then, close the door again?
No, Carnelian is going to leave it slightly ajar.
Okay. And then do you peek through? What are you doing?
So if the hammerers don't immediately react...
Doesn't look like it at the moment.
He's going to do the same with the armor.
Okay. Another sleight of hand check then. The door has to be cracked open wider than it was before.
Carnelian is going to use his inspiration on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Much better. That is a 16.
Okay. The door cracks even wider now. Svieta, are you keeping a lookout?
Yeah, I'm kind of rearing up to get ready to move backwards.
Okay, do a perception check for me.
Okay.
You're sort of keeping on watch, I think.
Don't touch them, Andrew.
It touched my foot. I'm sorry.
That dice is cursed now. Jen.
I've lost it.
It's a write-off.
Foot, no.
It's got the foot curse.
You're going to have to give it a salt bath now.
What was it? It was a
Perception check, please.
perception.
I don't think this one's going to be a scent one. I think this is just going to be...
Oh, no, I haven't been rolling with advantage.
Yeah,
so
no, just like
that
that.
is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
Nice.
That was the last one. Cool.
You look around and you're tensing up because you're expecting to have to fight at any moment. But none of the hammers look like they have noticed what's happening to the cell.
Okay.
The armor slips in and you hear some shuffling on the other side, like someone's putting on some tight armor.
So while he's doing that, Carnelian's going to attempt to write another note to say, we're about to start a fight. Get ready.
Okay. All right. Cool. Anything else you want to do? You haven't been spotted yet.
Do we need to be in here?
Jen, your perception check, you rolled a dirty 20. That's pretty good. Ever since you've been doing this, you've been making a little bit of noise, but the hammers don't seem to have noticed you. But one thing you do notice is that the tapping sound from further down stops for a bit, and then it taps, pauses, and then stops, long pause, and then does it again.
That's not the same beat as what was in the furnace, was it?
No.
Okay. I don't know, just knowing it's someone from Duggan's Hole,
Yeah, good call.
really just don't care.
That guy.
It would be good to have another ally, however brief.
Yeah, that's
We
what
can
I'm
probably
thinking.
put him on the front lines.
I just want to see how long it takes to put on
Would he be an ally,
medium
though? We
armor.
met those guys.
Yeah, he might just kill us.
As you're I'm assuming Svieta is Svieta thinking the same thing you're thinking about?
Just thinking, actually, detect thought can penetrate barriers. 2 feet of rock, 2 inches of any metal
Sure.
other than lead, or a thin sheet of lead.
Yep.
Can I try and poke around?
Yeah, you sure can.
Surface level thoughts on whatever is in that door.
Okay. So you start tuning the tech thoughts. The world around you goes that little bit grayscale, and the meow channel fades away into the background.
Thank Christ.
She's been hearing it in your head for the past half an hour, past 10 minutes.
Which door is it?
It's over down here. You don't know exactly, but it's over to the east.
Okay.
Prison skim.
You start probing the mines directly around you. Very quickly, you sort of come up against those hammers, and you can recognize them because they all have that same insane insanity to them, right?
I'll just immediately tune it out.
The thoughts are they're just incomprehensible, and you're like, nah, these are these guys.
So it's just like a really loud Linkin Park song.
Yeah, just always crawling in their skin. So you're easily able to filter those out, and your mind starts wandering further and further until you think you touch another mind, and you start tuning in on it, and then there's this sort of set of thoughts about the darkness, about hearing something, and then as you're probing it, it suddenly goes blank. But you still feel like you're in that mind. And then you get the feeling that the tapping then starts coming a little bit louder. And the thoughts you're getting clear, like when you tune into other people's minds, they usually have a number of thoughts all at once. But it's almost like the complete mind has been silenced, and then just the thought, help.
Oh, I was going to make a comment that it was a simple creature, but help.
And it's like clear as day. Is the first time, like the Duragars are completely incomprehensible. They're screaming about 1,000 Linkin Park songs at once. Everyone else, like even the Meow channel from Carnelian, there's meows, there's stuff about singing, you can hear him humming stuff in his head that's other tunes. Like all these background thoughts and information, even when you talk to Wodun, when you talk to Horacio, there's always some like other thoughts in there. And when you're telepathically communicating, those get funneled out to the communication, but you still sort of hear them. You're not peering into thoughts, but you're aware of other thoughts around.
Yeah.
But this is like, you heard these indistinct thoughts, and then everything went blank, and you just hear help.
I don't know, Sveta's just really conflicted. I will speak into his mind.
Okay.
Help to kill Xardorok?
And then the person who you're connected to speaks back in your mind. Help to get me out of here.
Then
I'm surprised someone can speak in my head down in this place.
I've got special technology.
I see.
Help us kill Xardorok, and we can help you.
And then you sort of hear what would be an intake of breath if you were in person. It's like, you got to get me out of here first. I'll help you. You want to kill the person who put me in here? I'll gladly help you.
Well, the only way to get you out of here is to kill Xardorok.
Well, that makes it nice and simple, doesn't it?
What is your name?
My name is Peko. Peko Quint.
From Duggan's Hole?
Yes, from Duggan's Hole.
Okay.
You got something out there I can use as a weapon? Otherwise, I'm going to have to throttle someone. It's not pretty.
I got a weapon.
Great. Armor?
No.
It's a shame.
We weren't expecting more than one... Well, to save more than one prisoner.
And then you hear like a little chuckle in your mind. It's like, well, I'm glad that you came and talked to little old me then, didn't you? Must be my lucky day.
Tap which cell you're in. Tap at the door.
And after a bit, he's like, I've been doing it already. And then you hear this tapping sound again, further down. I think I'm 4 cells from the back.
Oh, he's really precise, thank you.
Oh, yes. I know where I am.
That
Don't
would
worry
be...
about that.
What was his name again?
Did I say
Peko.
Peko Quint? Quint, sorry.
Quint.
Peko Quint.
So that would be just...
I will just put it in Discord, sorry.
Not Gwent.
quintessential to mention.
It's in Discord.
Yeah. I'm going to ping on the map. Is it here, or is it this door slightly covered by a...
Oh, no, I mean probably in the GM.
Yeah.
Oh, I can actually see him.
I can sort of see him. I thought that was something
Yeah.
else. All right.
That's the cell.
I can see him.
Oh, there's... Ah.
Hold steady. Now tune into the cat channel again.
Meow, 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 meow.
I will let Carnelian know exactly what cell to go to. You can maybe mage hand it open. I can't move past those...
No, I can't break. Carnelian will think back. I'll just get off your back and try and sneak past them, because if I mage hand, I'll break the invisibility.
Okay. I'm just going to lower myself down to the ground so you can get off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carnelian will bring one of the short swords.
Okay. So you were Carnelian's heading over to the cell with a short sword,
Yep.
right? And how do you get this sword in there? Because
Well, he's gonna same approach. He's gonna unlock the door first,
okay.
And then if he's going to wait and see if there's a reaction from the hammerers, and then he's going to open it and move the sword in, and then he's going to back away from the door.
Make a sleight of hand check.
15.
Okay, so you slide open the door slightly and throw the short sword in. It clatters to the ground, and you back away. And then, after a second or two, Svieta, in your head, you hear the response again.
I've had enough of the cat channel.
You're like hang on, I got a call coming in. Hello?
You feel another mind reaching out to connect to you.
I'll accept the charges.
Okay. This is Pecco. Can you pick up? He says, thanks to you, kind stranger. Mighty fine indeed. Do you have another one, or just the one?
No need to be greedy.
Oh, I won't be greedy. Just want to help.
No. Maybe. I don't know.
Can you repeat the question?
I'll tune out of him for real quick. Tune into Carnelian.
Yeah,
Second sword at all?
Please leave your name and number after the cats. Thank you.
All I have is my backup dagger. Carnelian will just toss the dagger in.
And again, you get a collect call coming through.
I'll reverse the charges this time.
All right. Yes, I think this will do indeed. So, you got a little plan out there, little lady?
Not me. I don't have a plan.
Oh, wow.
But it's probably to kill Xardorok.
I get that. Sounds like the plan is to improvise. I like it.
Yes.
I like to improvise. How are we getting out of these cells? I know the door's unlocked, but I'm damn sure you haven't taken care of those brutes outside.
One moment, please.
Waiting on you.
Okay. Tune into the cat network.
24/7.
Carnelian.
Yes.
Oh god, you're so loud in your head. Can you stop that?
Stop what?
The cats. You're meowing a lot in there.
I am?
It's not important. So, what should we do? Because this hammer is here and it's just us and strangers.
We should probably regroup with the other two while we have the invisibility.
Yeah? Do you think they're still alive?
I mean, we haven't heard a fight.
It's true.
Probably would have been like an alarm raised if they were caught.
Yeah. Well, okay, well, what should I tell the prisoners then?
I guess wait for a fight, because we're not going to be. We're not planning on being subtle, right? We're planning on just.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, at the very least, Wodun's not capable of being subtle.
With our track record, I wouldn't try it anyway.
No. Well, I'll tell them to stay here until they hear a loud noise. I guess any loud noise. That sounds threatening.
Sound of a melee.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Anything else I should tell them?
Maybe mention that the dwarves, the Durga, will be fighting each other as well?
I'll show them the gang sign.
Yeah, look for the ones doing the signs.
Maybe we should paint like a red stripe on them or something.
And tell them what we look like as well so they don't attack us.
Yeah, true.
I mean, you're not Durga. I don't think they would, but yeah, we should tell them that we have friends.
Yeah. It's probably a good idea. Okay.
I'm just imagining this as a Naruto ninja battle. Everyone just throwing hand signs as they're coming in. Jesus. Yeah, just so many jutsus.
Alright. Well, I'll relay, I guess, in two different conversations to both Pecco and other person.
I don't think you got his name initially.
Mr. Goliath.
Mr. Goliath. Or Mrs. I wasn't sure. I didn't ask.
G-Unit.
Sure.
G-Unit.
Okay.
Tall man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll both tell him exactly what Carnelian and I have conveyed, and we'll leave here. And I'll tell them about the two hammerers,
I think that, the number of hammers, don't be specific.
Specifically 2.
3.
This hammer, I'll tell them about the hammerers and to watch out for them, and
Yeah.
they're susceptible to heat.
Okay.
And get Carnelian back onto my back,
Okay.
because I'm still a dog.
That's going to be difficult while you're invisible.
I haven't moved.
Okay. Just
So,
like
just believe in yourself.
reach out a bunch and just like, all right, here.
Yeah, until you feel something fluffy, and then just climb on.
Roll a d6. 1 to 3, its face. 4 to 6, its ass.
Try and find like the forelegs on an invisible dog.
Yeah.
Okay, so the prisoners will know that their cells are unlocked and they're just waiting for, basically, commotion to break out.
Yeah, don't leave before then.
Don't leave before then. Okay.
Yeah.
So you tell them that. I think Pecco's the only one that's talked back to you. So I think you've only spoken to Pecco directly. But
Yeah.
you can give them the gist of it, and then Carnelian can invisibly mount and... That sounds wrong.
I was
said
waiting
it.
for you to notice.
Carnelian can ride. No, that also doesn't sound right.
Ride.
He can climb onto
Climb
Sved's
onto-
body.
Yes.
Ride the bitch.
Carnelian can go.
You're a female dog.
Yes, I mean, technically.
That was my joke, okay?
Carnelian can go
That was
doggy
what I made
style
that clear.
across the forge.
Okay,
I
but
liked it.
There's no way to say this without sounding at least somewhat sus.
Choose the phrase
Hop
that
on.
anyone threw across this room.
Hop on.
Hop on.
Hop on.
yes, you'll probably find that you're facing the wrong way when Svieta turns around to head out, but you can
Onward.
So you walk back out of the cells,
Light jog.
a light jog.
Yeah.
You've still got some plenty of time on your invisibility. Where would you like to go?
I will... I mean, we could just go back the way we came, because those doors are still open.
We know where these two went, right?
Yeah, you knew they were going to go further north to check because there was the possibility of there being some allies in that room. So you don't know what happened, but I think you guys made a plan to meet back up in the torture room somewhere. You hadn't planned to meet back generally where you were.
We'll make our way back to where that dead mind flayer is.
Okay. So
Or, like, around this forge.
you start making your way across the forge floor,
Yep.
and we will also go back then to Horacio and Wodun, who's leading a troop of Duragars down a hallway. So your intent is to head where as well?
Yeah, so after delivering a rousing speech, we basically instructed them.
I think these ones are following you specifically.
Yeah, they're
that
basically
roused.
with us. I think the plan is that they'll follow us into the main area. I think.
Okay.
I don't think. Yeah, I think it's just they're just participating in the fight. I don't think they have any specific directives beyond that.
I think they're just going to follow you where you're going to go. So where do you want to go? I can bring them with you.
I think we'll head back. What do you think, Wodun? I think we'll head back to that entry lobby, which is kind of where I think we were agreeing to meet them.
I think that would be the closest vantage point to a surprise attack on Xardorok.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. And
Because their platform was down there.
yes.
That way.
I just realised I asked Wodun.
What
do you think,
Break the
Wodun?
fourth wall.
Odin is both in and out of the game.
Okay, so you guys head south along that corridor. There's no real way to just creep past anymore
Come back
because
to
you've
you,
got
bloody boys.
a bunch of Duragar. But what I will say is that because you have Duragar that are following you, it would be very unlikely for anyone to spot you guys and not think it was normal because they're just seeing lines of Duragar pass by.
Perfect.
You head down to the split where there was Lady Musgart's guest quarters and that room that they were torturing that captain. You hang a left or your right, and you eventually end up in the chapel then again with 5 Duragar. And I will say, at around that time, Svieta and Carnelian can be approaching the door,
Oh, what good timing.
because that makes it easier for me.
Who's that? I can hear you.
Convenient.
Walk twice if you're in Milwaukee.
That's a no.
Just one. I left.
Sentient.
Okay. So everyone is back together. You guys now see there are 5 Duragar milling about with Wodun and Horacio.
Svieta, Can you do that mind thing?
I feel a presence.
What?
Hello.
Yes. Hello. So we've had a resounding success in the hall. These 5 loyalists are all that remain of that fight, and they're all here to assist.
That is a lot more than what I thought was going to happen in there.
Absolutely. What news of yourself?
We found a Goliath and some guy from Duggan's Hole. He's alright, I guess. We've given them weapons, and if they hear anything, they'll come and fight with us as well. But they've got to make it past 2 hammerers.
I see. What's the situation like inside? Is it heavily...
There's a lot of people in the guard towers, and Xardorok is literally next to us on the left. Right on the other side of this wall.
I'll actually turn to Wodun and say out loud, Xardorok's just around the corner.
And what about his counterpart, the woman that he mentioned, or someone mentioned, Jonkin?
Yeah.
The woman that Jonkin mentioned.
Jonkin's woman.
Jonkin's woman.
I don't know how far to let that go.
Jonkin Tonkin.
There was a 4-woman, I think he let you know.
No,
about.
just one.
That was directing a bunch of...
I think she was there.
There was also
Yeah, she was with him, right?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah, Jonkin said
6 or
something like she's on shift today, or like she's on the floor today, or something like that.
Yeah, I think she's the 4-woman directing people.
I mean, we should probably try and at least stop her from moving as soon as the fight starts, so that way we don't have to worry about. Was it Jonkin mentioning the beasts off to the side of the room in cages?
So Jonkin Tolkien mentioned that there are some creatures being kept in cage to the south of where the platform is, and she's likely to try and release them and make things a lot harder for you if you just go out there and start a fight.
Svieta, another question.
Yes.
Do you have some kind of ability to communicate with those animals?
I can't while I'm a dog.
Oh, and that would compromise your position.
Yes, but I could position myself at least in front of one of the cages so she can't get into it. I am big enough.
True. And I suppose once we go live, you may have the ability to actually communicate, and maybe they can join us rather than joining them.
It depends if the beasts actually speak any language. I could probably talk to them.
Can you speak to any creature at all?
Not an animal that doesn't know any languages. Oh. So, if they knew, gnome, then I can talk to them.
Yeah, they need to know a language, yeah.
Yeah, and I think if you speak with animals, they have to be beasts subtype, I think.
Yeah.
But apart from that,
I guess if it's a monstrosity that just happens to know Dwarvish, I could probably talk to them.
Yes, that's also true.
Yeah.
Because you can psychically then talk to them.
Yeah. It's a very particular set of circumstances. I'll still try.
Well, yeah, worth a shot at least once.
Yeah.
You never know.
How will we start? Well, we'll stay connected, I guess, and then...
Yeah, well, how many are in there, by your approximation?
I want to say 8. Callan, confirm?
So you didn't really have a good... So the one thing to note here is that you've got fairly limited vision because of all the haze and smoke on the floor. You saw that each of the towers have 3 Duergar, and you know for a fact that every single one of them has at least 1 Musgard loyalist. And you know that their plan is, once the fight starts out, they're going to try and shove one of them off the edge and then fight the other one.
Yeah.
You know that Xardorok is on the platform. You know the 3 hammerers are in the north where the other 2 prisoners are. And there are a number of creatures, I don't know if I named them, that the 4-woman, so that's another person, is directing. I don't think you saw an exact number, but you could probably say at least 5.
Okay. At least 5.
Okay, so not a huge number. Do we plan to try and capture Xardorok? Do we want information from him regarding the dragon, or do we just try and kill him outright?
It would be hard to do with Carnelian because he has a habit of killing everything that he touches. But I think it would be good to just knock him unconscious.
Carnelian about to object, but then thinks on it for a moment. He's like, it's a fair call.
This is a private
It's a private
conversation.
channel.
You haven't broken the encryption yet.
Carnelian's sitting there, like, sharpening his sword.
What do you think?
Yeah, I perhaps we could use the use. They can't hear me. Perhaps we could use the loyalists here to occupy perhaps other members of the floor, and we go after Xardorok and the forewoman.
That's a good idea. Carnelian and I could sneak in first, and then let you know when we're in place.
Okay.
Because I think I can talk to you regardless, if I'm still connected to you.
Like in real time, if you like.
Yeah, I don't think...
Outside of initiative.
I think you just have to be within a certain range.
Yeah. Let me just double check. As long as you maintain concentration on the spell, you can use bonus actions.
Hey, Callan?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you allow me, or potentially Wodun, or potentially both of us, to do a persuasion check on this group of Duergar to sort of rouse them up to get them to charge in head first, or would they just straight up do it?
I think that's a fair call in terms of they're not like they're on your side, but they're not like fighting for you. So they're not going to try and necessarily risk a charge like that. So yeah, you'd need to persuade them. I would allow that. Yeah, if you want to. What you got for me, Tim?
Okay.
What do you say to these guys? And if Wodun wants to kick in as well, go for it.
Gentlemen, ladies, I can't tell.
Oh, he's talking to us. Okay. He was just staring off into the space. Yeah, it was a bit weird.
Let me ask you something. Do you hate Xardorok?
Yeah, there's just general. Yeah. He doesn't give us overtime.
Would you rather see Lady Musgard running the show?
You get a more stronger chorus of yeah.
And do we know what needs to happen in order for that to happen?
Do we? I thought we were here for the Christmas party. No. Yeah.
Xardorok needs to die.
Yeah.
Xardorok is around that corner, and this is the best chance you'll ever get in your life for him to die. You have our full support, our combat abilities.
Yeah. We're with you. Yeah.
All right. For Frodo! And I just run in.
Oh, God.
I'm kidding.
He inspired himself too much.
Oh, that's really
It's
good.
like, I'll inspire these guys to charge in first. No, that was good. Charge!
Damn, that was good.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if they're looking pretty roused up, I don't think I'd keep pushing.
Okay. Does Wodun want to kick in anything there? I'm going to modify the DC based on what you guys say.
Oh, shit. Gentlemen.
Someone's talking now.
We have long admired the Duergar and their enormous strength and ferocity in battle.
Oh, that's nice.
It would be an honor if we could fight alongside you today.
Yeah.
Can Carnelian, like, while invisible, like, add some, like, backing music?
Because this swell of, like, music starts playing as you guys are doing your speech.
Nice.
All right. Yes, keep going, Wodun. I like this.
There will be a time when a dragon destroys the 10 towns, but it is not this day.
Okay, is he allowed to say that? I don't know. I think we're going to get sued. Yeah.
Now let's get out there and fight like Duergar.
Yeah. Anything that the invisible dog wants to add to it?
No.
I feel like that would have the opposite of the intended effect. Where's the music coming from?
That's already a cool. Hey, do you guys hear music? I don't know. All right, roll me a persuasion check. I'll allow it to go with advantage.
Well, can we both just roll? Because I think we both part of it. I think that's fair.
Sure.
Otherwise, true.
Well, you already have advantage on the roll.
I'm going to save my inspiration.
Cool.
So I've got a pretty decent persuasion.
With
Feel sick.
Can I just give Wodun mine? Because if he has a decent persuasion.
Yeah. He has a decent persuasion. You can certainly do that.
Because I have a pretty not decent persuasion of 0.
I'm going to be very embarrassed if I roll badly with advantage now with my decent persuasion.
With your decent persuasion. Well, you know. But keep in mind, I'm taking into account your stirring speeches and stirring music.
One of them was a nat 1.
That
The
tracks.
other one is a 16 for a 23.
Wow.
Okay.
That is a decent persuasion.
So what you can see is like all these Duergar, like, you know, they started off a bit non-committal, talking about Xardorok, and then just you see them sort of geeing up a bit as you're talking, and then by the end, once all of you, the music is now filtering through this erstwhile chapel, and you just hear them going, yeah, we're doing death to Xardorok, death to Xardorok, yeah, get him, we'll get him.
Let's get him, fellas.
I just want my overtime. And so they all seem real ready to go.
Nice.
When tenses his neck, he's ready too.
Okay.
We should probably like head out ahead while invisible, just so that we can like position ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the plan, Svieta? You guys going to go ahead and get invisible? Carnelian, you can also hear me.
We're talking.
Hi there.
There's people in the background, they're still geeing each other up.
I'll tune into your head, relay what was being said between myself and Horacio.
I'm just going to let you guys talk in general with the telekinesis.
Yeah, look.
It is just weird
Thank
otherwise.
you.
Unless you're in combat.
I'll position us somewhere, and you can like kick me where you want to go.
I'm not wearing my spurs, so don't worry.
I think. Thank you. But I'm gonna try and like at least block one of the cages if I'm able to.
Yeah, I think we should try and like position to get the
Four ladies.
the four
The multiple ladies in one.
4 women.
It's like quintuplets all over again.
the Amalga lady.
Wait, what's it? The multi-bear from Gravity Falls? Or whatever?
yeah, the
The multi-lady.
And then signal to Horatio that we're ready.
Yeah.
And then
Sounds good.
okay.
I'm gonna try and hold the 4 women in position. That's gonna be my objective, just so you guys know as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it all
Perfect.
No, it's not.
Ah.
It's a booming blade.
It's a big hug.
Okay.
I'll try and initiate combat by biting her.
Nice and niche.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes. So you guys want to head out beforehand. Wodun and Horatio are waiting for your signal. What's the range on your telepathy?
It says 30 feet.
30 feet.
But if you allow like a little bit of extra room just for this occasion. Because 30 yeah.
Yeah, no, you just... Okay, all good. You know roughly the ranges and how close you need to be. So if you head out, you're still invisible. I'll get you guys to head out. You can close the door behind you so they're hidden, but everyone's sort of waiting for you guys. So
Alright.
head out on the map.
We'll sneak out. Oh, that's ruler.
Let's get sneaky.
Get sneaky.
Good luck and God bless. I mean,
Kalemba will be with you.
yes, thank you. I definitely remember that you were just faster.
Good luck, guys. Doyle rules.
Who rules?
Or Doyle.
That
Doyle.
is a... Was it? Oh, that Adam Sandler movie.
It's a
Billy
deep,
Madison?
Billy Madison, yeah.
deep cut.
Okay, so as you come around the corner here, and I will now start insisting on stealth checks very shortly, but you can
must
see the platform ahead of you. So that's a raised platform with some stairs heading up to it on either side. And you can see a man up there. You sort of heard him before, but he's shouting down to this Duergar here. It's a female Duergar, which is obviously the forewoman, the multi-woman that you heard about. And you can just, he's almost, there's not like there's commands to do stuff, but it doesn't exactly make a heap of sense. Like he's almost giving contradictory orders, and you can see him start talking, but then he stops and he's like stuttering, and you sort of see his mouth move, and you realize, Feta, with your ears, like how sensitive they are, he's like muttering to himself. He's like, get that hammer down.
I assume he's speaking Dwarvish, so I have no idea what he's saying. It all sounds like gibberish.
Yeah, it sounds like gibberish to you, but even still, you can recognize there's a mumbling as well.
Yeah.
And any of the clear orders, like you can't hear the mumbling Carnelian, but you can hear the clear orders that he's
I have a
giving.
pretty good passive perception.
Okay.
Not as good as
Well, what's
dog.
yeah.
19.
Holy shit.
Well, you don't have dog ears though. There's a limit.
Actually, he does.
Seen Carnelian's
That's-
portrait?
That's true.
You got big ears.
Come on, man.
Untrue.
I specifically asked for the kind of kobold with the big floppy ears.
For this occasion.
You're not allowed to game... Okay, yes, you can hear them mumbling in Dwarvish, but you don't catch any words. It's just like he's just muttering to himself in between commands. These creatures here that are obsessively carrying out the work are these sort of like furry creatures with a broad, flat nose, and it almost makes it look like they're smiling with deep, dark, inset eyes. Does anyone want to roll a check for what they are?
Yes.
What kind of check?
Nature check, actually.
My
Let's
worst
try
check.
that again. Wait, how is that your worst check?
I don't want to talk about it. Because it's an intelligence check.
There was an incident.
8 on the dice, so 8.
13.
13. Okay, I can give you the name at the very least. So if you guys direct yourselves to roll 20, these are what's called quaggoths. They look like this.
Oh no.
Oh,
Quaggly.
They're stinky.
like happy yetis.
Stinky. Ooh, it smells from here. Gross. It stinks.
You know, Carnelian, that these are creatures from the Underdark. They're not particularly intelligent, so they're almost treated like sort of beasts in a way, but they're quite savage. So keeping them in line like this must take a lot of effort, because they can be quite brutal at times. Don't try and poison these things. That won't work. So they're carrying out various things in that area, which you can see if you look up. It's sort of a shaft that extends, that disappears into the roof above you.
With the quaggoths,
Yeah.
are they explicitly following the forewoman's orders?
Yeah, so there's orders that are being yelled down from Xardorok to the forewoman, and you can see she has this kind of like horn megaphone that she's relaying things through, and she's shouting across this space. Then you also can see through behind where those quaggoths are, there you can hear the sort of sound of cages, like sort of animals moving in cages. It's down the south there, past them.
Okay.
I'll quickly tune into Carnelian. Where do you want to go?
I think we should go like up and around the platform.
To behind the forelady? But in front of Xardorok?
Not like to the side of Xardorok.
Right beside Xardorok.
Like beside the blood lady.
Just ping.
Yeah, I'll just ping.
Oh, behind there.
Yeah.
Alright, so like next to the platform, but not on the platform.
Yeah.
Sort of squeezing in between a space between the platform and the wall there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright.
Near the Phone King cranes.
Yes.
Luckily, telepathy lets me send mental pings on the map.
Right there. I'm just trying to explain it best for the people listening. I'm just like, I have no idea. Alright, so we're like right beside some stairs going up to Xardorok, but behind that multi-lady.
Sure,
The far side of where
Yeah.
we'll be coming through the door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Xardorok's on a raised platform, and to the south of him is the forewoman and the quaggoths.
Yeah. And we'll just pretend that you guys are waiting in the armory looking through the arrow slits, because that's the only way the telepathy will reach that far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go back to Horacio and like let him know about the quaggoths.
Quaggoths? I may have heard of them.
Roll a nature
Roll a
check.
nature check.
By name. And then I will also relay it to Wodun. Have you heard of a quaggoth before?
Oh, I might have heard of them.
Roll me a nature check.
Gotta try. 14 for me.
9.
No more than what Carnelian already knew. You know specifically, Horatio, that they are denizens of the Underdark, but you don't really know a whole lot more, and Wodun, you've never heard of them before in your life.
Is that a cereal?
Not far from it, actually. When we were younger, they used to tell stories, and if you didn't go to bed when you were supposed to, a quaggoth would come out of a hole in your floorboards and pull you into the Underdark.
Spooky.
Not as bad as my spooky stories. Those are all about phase spiders.
Jesus.
Terrified of corners.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for her throat. Do you want to go for her megaphone?
Sounds good. I mean, listen, thinks good. Good thought.
I feel a nod in my head.
You get like that anime.
I was just thinking that Carnelian just projected an image of his own head that just goes, nod.
Oh my god, Final Fantasy 14. Sorry, so many nods. Sorry.
Okay, so you guys are in position and you've told, you've given the information over.
Yep. I'm almost ready to bite. I don't know if I should bite before they come into the room or not. Because it'll take you like... Oh no, you guys aren't melee. Right?
I am.
Don't.
Oh, I'm not.
Sorry.
Well,
It might
our
add
friends
to the.
are.
It might add to the surprise if, like, she's looking the other way.
True, yeah.
Definitely.
It's like I'll bite her and then at the same time tell you guys to come in.
Do you want us to go just before you so her attention is taken and then you move in?
Might be good. Yeah. Oh, well, we're still invisible, so it doesn't really matter either way because we'll still catch her by
Suppose, yeah.
surprise.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we just like go as soon as someone makes a move, because that
Yeah.
way if we move like as soon as possible, then we get the surprise either way.
I guess
Because
that's
her guard
it.
will
Yeah.
be down. As soon as people flood in, her guard will go up a bit.
Yeah. Alright, well, we'll do.
The plan is that Wodun and Horacio will charge in with their entourage, while Carnelian and Svieta will make a sneak attack at the same time once the entourage charges in.
Yes.
Yep, and I'll relay that to the boys.
Yeah, get him by surprise, we'll get him. Yeah, we'll get him. No, calm down, son.
I like your spirit, Dennis. Keep that up.
All right, we're ready when you are.
Was that Dennis?
That was Michael. I don't know.
Dennis is the little one. He's
Dennis,
like,
Dennis is a little one. He's like this. He's a little brutal. Yeah. Oh, get him a rip of a throat.
He's actually like a deep gnome, just with a really long beard.
Who said that? I'm not a gnome. Not a gnome. It's all right, Dennis.
we haven't even
No one
started
accused you
fighting
of being
yet,
a
Dennis.
gnome. Sorry. Sorry, Tim.
No, you're right. I said we haven't even started fighting yet, Dennis. Don't get yourself too worried out, mate.
I'll get him. I'll cut him. I'll stab him. Don't you have a warhammer? Yeah, stab him with a warhammer.
Bursting through the chapel doors, Wodun and Horatio at the head of an entourage of dwarves?
I
Or
think
behind?
maybe amongst them.
Amongst them,
You think?
a group of people yell and start charging out of the chapel. Immediately as that happens, you can see Xardorok's head whip around and he starts saying the phrase, "What the hell is happening?" While that happens, your eyes cast over to the crenellated towers, watchtowers, as one of the Duragar in each towers charge another person looking out over the whole thing as they're about to yell, and they push them off the towers, dealing damage. And immediately they grow giant and pull weapons on the other person that's there. All these giant Durgars.
That we can't see because of the smoke.
Yeah.
We'll hear it.
You can hear it happening.
I'm growing big, yeah.
So these guys are all going to lose initially just 9 points of damage.
Ooh, 20-foot drop.
Yep.
I wonder if the Wilhelm Scream is open source.
It is.
Oh,
Really? Is it?
That's why it's
Sort of one.
yeah, it's part of an open library.
Nice.
I saw a video on it recently.
So did
Me
I.
too.
Roblox oof.mp3.
Yeah, that one.
Went
H
for
Bomber
2
guy.
hours.
H Bomber guy's so good.
It was very informative.
At the same time, when that happens and all this pushing and shouting happens, these hammerers start rounding the corner from the north of you, and you can see they look like they're ready to start a fight. But immediately behind them, two people with swords and... Was it a club or an axe? It was great.
It was a great axe.
When a great axe starts striking them down immediately, and you see this sort of slight slender man very deftly hitting pressure points on the hammerer, immediately cutting them down to half hit points.
It's the Goliath, right? The Slender Man?
No, the slender man is the one with the sword.
The Slender Man is the one that keeps Callan up at night.
Was he the
Yes.
fog guy? Did we just release
Okay.
this fog man that was chasing us?
Oh yes, there's a mist that starts forming his feet,
Oh, no.
and the giant. You can see what's clearly a Goliath smacking on the other hammerer as well.
You mean Pekko, right? The slender dude?
Yeah, the slender dude from Duggan's Hole. So, all of that happens at once. We will have to talk about a surprise round, but do you know what this means, guys?
Combat?
We'll have to find out next week.
alright.
Reflex save.
I rolled an 18. Can I carry that over?
That's not how this works.
And now I'm going to talk normally. And now I'm going to speak in a very strange manner.
Why is Carnelian not like that? That'd be amazing for a bard.
When you speak to Carnelian.
I feel like Carnelian should speak like a thespian more of the time.
Yes.
It would make him stand out most distinctly.
You got Tim.
Oh my god! Fucking hell, you nearly got me. Shit.
Welcome to Aurea, a country that is renowned for research and progress, a country that prides itself on its advancements and achievements, that opens doors to futures that would otherwise remain closed to its populace of diverse and charming people. However, some say that some doors may be better left unopened. When four strangers encounter a rogue automaton, they unknowingly begin to unravel tightly kept secrets about their worlds. Armed with little true knowledge, but unfathomable curiosity, these four strangers reach out into the unknown. But will they come back from this perilous journey holding the truth? Or will they be holding on to the reality they think they know? Join Ivy, Varys, Alara, and Ziva as they dig into the secrets of Aurea and what lies beyond the edge. We are the Rainbow Dice Club, a 5e actual play podcast. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Rainbow Dice Club to keep up with all our adventures.